Julie Ryan, noted psychic and medical intuitive, is ready to answer your personal questions, even those you never knew you could ask. For more than 20 years, as she's developed and refined her intuitive skills, Julie used her knowledge as a successful inventor and businesswoman to help others. Now, she wants to help you grow, heal, and get the answers you've been longing to hear. Do you have a question for someone who's transitioned? Do you have a medical issue? What about your pet's health or behavior? Perhaps you have a loved one who's close to death and you'd like to know what's happening. Are you on the path to fulfill your life's purpose? No matter where you are in the world, take a journey to the other side and ask Julie Ryan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We have a whole bunch of callers on hold, so we'll get to them in just a minute. Wanted to remind you, this is the last show of April of 2020, so you know what that means. Next week, I'll give away a free consult with me, a free session, and that's an hour long. It's valued at $155, and especially in the middle of this pandemic, I know that's a lot of money normally, but it's really a lot of money to people now. So you can register to win. Just 3 easy things. Follow me on Instagram at Ask Julie Ryan. Follow me in my blog. Sign up for my blog at AskJulieRyan.com. And then put a review on iTunes for the show. Subscribe to the show and put a review on iTunes. And then I'll pick a winner, and it'll be announced on next show next week. At the first Thursday of every month I do this. And why I do it is just as a thank you to all of you for listening and for participating with the show and with me. I so appreciate you. And I know it's a lot of money. So if you want to win a free session, then go ahead and sign up for those things. Also, if you forget what I said, just go to my website, AskJulieRyan.com, and go under events, and it'll tell you all those things that I just mentioned. All right, let's go to the phones and see who our first caller is. I believe it's Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Hanging in there.
Good. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton. And how are things in Dayton?
Cloudy and rainy. All day. Well, actually, last 2 days.
Yeah.
So, but its temperature's not bad. So it's I love it here. So I don't mind, and I kind of like rain. So as long as it's not storming too bad.
Yeah,
we haven't had any of those.
We dodged a bullet down here. We've had a bunch of storms come through, and there were tornadoes and storms in Louisiana yesterday, and Texas and all of that, and they were headed for us, but it's like some went south and some went north, and Birmingham, the sun was out this afternoon, so it just bypassed us. We could see a bunch of clouds off in the distance and what looked like snarky weather, but so far so good here.
Yeah, good.
'Tis the season. Yeah. Well, good. You got a question for me this evening?
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can articulate, because it's one. I think it's one question, but it's got a couple components to it. So I think you know I moved into another apartment away from the one where everything got stolen of mine, and I'm like a mile or two from there. So I'm just really starting to feel this. Okay, I'm going to be leaving here at some point in the not-too-distant future, I think. And I wasn't expecting to sense that, but that's what it feels like. Does that resonate for you and what you read?
Well, can you be more specific? Leaving here, does that mean leaving this apartment, leaving Dayton,
yes.
leaving the state,
this apartment?
Okay. So how long will Kathy live in her current apartment? I get 6 months.
That's about what I'm thinking, too.
Okay.
Good. That's good to know. And the only other part, I feel like, well, Yeah, I'm having some health issues just because it's a small little 3-unit building, and the person attached to mine, our vents are connected, so I'm getting all the cigarette smoke again. Mm-hmm. And it seems to be bothering Katie more than me. And she's getting up in years now, so she's not feeling particularly well. So if there's anything for her or me that you see health-wise that I could address and get worked out, some of the kinks worked out a little bit. Because 6 months, that's about what I thought. And
tell everybody who Katie is.
Katie is I figured out she's 17 years old, which for cats is really, she just opened her eye. She heard me. Hi, baby girl. She's like, you talking about me? She's so funny. So, it'll be good. That'll be good. 6 months makes me happy. I'm glad to hear that it's that short of a time frame. That's what was hoping you would see.
Can you get out of your lease agreement, Kath?
Yeah, I probably could. I don't think he would care. The landlord and I, we kind of get along, but kind of don't either. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he would care if I left.
But it's breathing the smoke from your neighbor is what the problem is, right?
Oh, yeah, and for Katie, mainly. Like, I woke up this morning, and she was having what felt like spasms in her lungs. Is what it felt like, because she was cuddling with me, and I always hold her there, and I could tell. It's like, oh, this is starting to get bad.
So get out of there as soon as you can. That's what I'm getting. Don't wait 6 months if you could find someplace else to move, which is kind of a tough time right now, but I think things are starting to open up, and they will next week in a lot of states. I don't know about Ohio, but you guys were one of the first ones to shut down.
The challenge here is finding some place that's non-smoking, because everything is smoking here in rentals. But I looked and looked and looked and looked, and then I come here, and the landlord tells me, I said, I can't live here unless it's non-smoking, and my cat can't either. And then I asked him, I said, is this non-smoking? And he said, yes. And I said, wow, that's fantastic. I'll be here a long time, because I'm staying here for 10 years. I'd like to be in Ohio 10 years, and then moving back to Anacortes, Washington. So, and then I find out first day I'm here, the guy next door smokes like a chimney, and everybody else does, and I'm like, he's a liar. This is a CPA.
Wow. So keep looking, and you may need to expand your horizons. But that's what I'm getting is just go ahead and try and find someplace else that you can live, and place that doesn't have smoking. So thanks so much for calling. It's great to hear from you.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you. Thank you for your input.
You bet. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye, Julie.
Bye. Okay, let's see who we have next. I believe it is Darcy. Hi, Darcy.
Oh, hi, Julie.
How are you?
Good. Calling from San Francisco.
San Francisco. How are you out there?
We're doing great. And just
terrific.
Enjoying the slowed down pace for sure.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day, Darcy, and they said, well, what do you think about all of this? And I said, well, I think people are getting their wishes. And he said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, people said, I wish I had more time with my kids. Now they do. I wish I had more time to read books. Now they do. I wish I had more time to, paint a room or something. And now they do. So I think a lot of us are getting our wishes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we get back to normal.
That's right. That's right.
Like.
Yeah. I'm getting some weird feedback all of a sudden from you.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Am I on speaker? Can you get me off speaker?
You offer it when you said my name.
Yeah.
But I have bad connection throughout my house, so maybe it's
there. That's better. Whatever you did, how you're holding your phone
just moved.
Is good now. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Well, you got a question for me?
Yeah, well, I just, I have a daughter who's a junior, and, this whole thing about, ending school. Well, they have remote school right now and till the end of the year, and then she'll be doing the college applications, and I'm just sort of curious. I don't even know what my question is really, but just sort of what would be a good question, maybe if you did like a membrane scan on her or something to kind of see if there's anything that, for her future, her path, and just getting some clarity on college application process and what it's going to look like in the fall.
So I guess your question is, where's she going to apply, or can you be more specific about what you're looking for?
I guess if where you see her, that's kind of a broad question, where you see her work fitting, but also I don't know if there's like a general, like, for all the kids who are juniors that are going to be applying, like they're not giving tours. So I don't know, I guess it's just sort of a big unknown about the procedure of searching for a college and the application process. And so maybe something that would help her along in this process.
What I'm getting is that they're going to open up tours this summer and in the fall. And so she's still going to be able to tour. And they're going to do remote interviews and conferences and stuff like that. I mean, they're getting very creative. They're going to have to. The NFL draft is going on this evening, and they're doing all that online. So it's just going to be different from what we're used to. But they haven't done it before, so they don't know. What they're missing. I mean, they've heard about it, but they haven't necessarily experienced it. So she's going to be just fine. I'm getting she's going to want to stay in state, though, and not go too far from home right now. Okay. That may change, but that's what I'm getting right now.
Okay. That's
good. Well, thanks for calling.
Thank you. I could ask something about my mother-in-law if you have time, but if you don't, then...
Okay, I'll circle back around to you if I do.
Thanks. Okay.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. I believe Catherine's next. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Where are you calling us from?
I'm from Old Saybrook, Connecticut.
Okay. How is it up there?
Oh, everything's doing pretty well here.
Terrific.
Yeah, it makes it nice. I have a couple questions for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I have been battling health issues for many, many years, and the doctors don't seem to be able to pinpoint or help me. And I have lots of autoimmune diseases like asthma, Hashimoto's, Epstein-Barr, chronic fatigue, depression, brain fog. And recently, also high cholesterol, and for the last, about 2 years, my right big toe has had a nail fungus on it, just a line going on it. And then the last couple months, I have had extreme hair loss. And I'm a hairdresser, so having all this hair loss coming out at the root, it's just coming out in clumps. Now, I did have blood work done, and my TSH showed that I needed less. I was having too much of the Synthroid. So I found that out today. So they're switching my medicine, but still, that's, my hair's been very dry and stuff, and I've been battling, dryness and problems with my nails growing, and they're splitting, cracking, peeling all the time. These are chronic things, and I know that some are little, but it's almost like everything's connected.
They are.
But
Absolutely.
none of the doctors can figure it out, and they kind of just don't want to, they don't want to go into it deep, so they just send you to somebody else, and then nobody seems to know. And so it's like a round robin.
I'm going to read this question that was submitted online. Did you read my blog that went out on Wednesday?
I didn't.
Okay, I'm going to read it to you now, and it's got a whole bunch of resources on it. So go to AskJulieRyan.com to find the resources. But I'm just going to leave you on while I read this so we can talk about this. This has got your name written all over it. No coincidences in life. So let me go ahead and read this question, and then we're going to talk about this, and I'll explain what's going on and how this pertains to you. This letter is from Hallie, and she lives in Chandler, Arizona. And she said, "Hi, Julie. I've had headaches off and on throughout my life since the age of 22. I'm now 45. The headaches seem to line up with my monthly menstrual cycle, and I typically get 3 to 5 per month. I'm not sure why, but the typical headache started and has been going on for almost 10 days now. Hang on one second. I see we had somebody join us. I'm going to mute you, and then I'll come back to you.
Sure.
Okay. Not you, the person that just joined us. So you're still on, Catherine. We can hear you.
Okay.
All right. So don't be disclosing your Swiss bank account because we can hear you. All right. So I always laugh. I always say, I wish I had something that needed a Swiss bank account, right?
Exactly.
So she went on to say, I'm not sure why, but a typical headache started and has been ongoing for almost 10 days now. I often have some relief in the mornings, but it never fully goes away. Unlike prior headaches, ibuprofen and Tylenol do not seem to help. It's a constant pain in my neck and up into my head. Some days the headaches are migraines. Would love and appreciate any insight you could offer. Thank you, Hallie. All right. Now, here's my answer to her, and then I'm going to wrap it around and what's going on with you. I said, hi, Hallie. Sorry to hear you've been suffering so long with headaches. Having experienced migraines for the first 40 years of my life, I can literally feel your pain. I remember having migraines as a 3-year-old. Had them my whole life till I got well, and this is where you're going to come in. In order to get some information for you, I energetically connected to you and discovered a multitude of potential causes. It looks like you have an overabundance of candida yeast in your GI tract, which you do too, Catherine. Mm-hmm. Catherine, how young are you?
61.
All right. Okay, are you on hormones?
No.
Doesn't look like it. All right. It looks like you've been exposed to mold. Hallie had. Yep. And you do too.
That, yeah.
Yep. And it looks like your hormones are out of whack. So all 3 of these pertain to you too. So let's address each one. Candida yeast overgrowth is a fungal infection whose most common symptoms include digestive issues such as bloating, constipation and diarrhea, skin rashes, chronic fatigue, and migraines, among many others. I, too, suffered with candida overgrowth for the first 40 years of my life until a Birmingham, Alabama doctor, Orion Truss, MD, helped me get well. And I put in parentheses, this included eradicating my migraine headaches. You see, back in the early 1950s, Dr. Truss, a Cornell-educated physician, discovered candida was the cause of a variety of seemingly unrelated symptoms. Bingo, exactly what's going on with you. He successfully treated me and patients from all over the world and is known as the godfather of candida yeast overgrowth. In short, eat whole foods, stay away from sugar and processed foods, consider getting a gut biome test, and taking an antifungal medicine like nystatin. In the meantime, I removed the yeast from your GI tract, which I just did with you as well. Okay, mold exposure. Whenever someone's exposed to mold, candida yeast overgrowth is always present in their GI tract. I energetically remove the mold from your body and suggest you consider, let me turn the page here, they're stuck. Consider contacting Amen Clinics or the Ultra Wellness Center to help you detox further. Again, all these links are on this blog on my website, AskJulieRyan.com. I went on to say they have a whole mold protocol to help people heal, and they may be able to treat you remotely. And then lastly, hormones. The Mayo Clinic says the hormones estrogen and progesterone play key roles in regulating the menstrual cycle and pregnancy and may also affect headache-related chemicals in the brain. Having steady estrogen levels may improve headaches, while experiencing estrogen levels that dip or change can make headaches worse. I believe, end quote, I believe a hormone imbalance is now and has been contributing to your headaches. You look like you're in perimenopause. To help you in the short run, I applied energetic estrogen into your body, and it responded nicely. I just applied energetic estrogen into your body, Catherine, and it responded nicely, too. Lastly, I said regarding hormones, you're going to want to investigate bioidentical hormones because they're what our bodies make when we're young and fertile. Synthetic hormones have extra molecules added to their formulas so they can be patented and are not optimal. The best way to educate yourself about all of this is to learn from Christiane Northrup, MD. I refer to her as the fairy godmother of women's health. Dr. Northrup has written a definitive book called The Wisdom of Menopause that educates women about what, as she says, can go right with your body. I believe the combination of these three issues is the cause of your headaches. I'm talking to Hallie. It's the cause of your symptoms too, Catherine. You may want to find a functional medicine physician who's trained to look at your body as a whole system. The Institute for Functional Medicine and the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine are good places to start. Hope all this information helps you get rid of your headaches once and for all. All right, here's how this works. If you go on my blog at AskJulieRyan.com, and it's called Headache Mystery, Catherine, all these links are going to be there. I want you to read the link that is with Dr. Orion Truss, MD. And it's an article, a short article by another physician who says Dr. Truss has been vindicated, and these are all the things that have transpired and how he got patients well. Read that. If it resonates with you, give it to your doctor and let them read it. He called his books The Missing Diagnosis. And I would meet people in his office from all over America, all over the world that would come to see him here in Birmingham. And they had symptoms that ranged from chronic sinusitis to infertility issues to all the stuff you've talked about to, I met people that were in wheelchairs that couldn't walk. He would heal the yeast overgrowth in their gut, Catherine, and they would get well. I mean, it was remarkable. So I really believe when I moved to Birmingham 21 years ago, part of the reason was for me to meet Dr. Truss, because I help people all over the world with the information he taught me, and he was 80 when I met him.
Wow.
So he's long deceased. Go on my website, read that stuff, look at all those links, and I believe there are a lot of answers there for you. I would also suggest getting the gut biome test done, and the link is there too.
Now,
yeah.
What was the type of doctor that you wanted me to see? Because I know that there are very few in my area, if any.
Functional medicine doctor, but you're not that far from Boston. So the Ultra Wellness Center is there, and so many of these docs now are starting to do telemedicine because they're being forced to with the pandemic. And I think a whole bunch of them are going to keep that because they're seeing how well it works.
Right. And is brain fog a part of that? Because
absolutely.
I'm starting to feel like I don't finish sentences anymore.
Yep.
And it's frightening because you think of dementia and you think of all these different things, and it kind of it's just scary.
It's brain fog and lack of hormones. So go read that blog. Look at those resources. There's a bunch of links on that. And though it was like I wrote that for you.
Oh, I guess so.
On Wednesday night, last night, and it took a lot of work to write that one. I mean, I usually spend a lot of time on these, but this one really took a lot of work, and now I know why, because you were supposed to hear it. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling. Pleasure talking with you. You bet.
I appreciate that so much.
Okay.
Have a great evening. Thank you.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
All right, let's see who's next. I believe it's Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
Oh, this is Catherine.
Oh, hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Did I put the wrong person down? All right. Well, good. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
How are you?
I guess, long story short, I have been dealing with anxiety and depression.
Okay.
Anxiety to the point where I barely leave the house, and it's been like that for a year.
Oh.
And I've seen numerous different doctors, and I've been on a medication now for about 8 weeks, and it's really not helping, and I don't know what will help. Like, I've seen naturopaths and stuff like that. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Where are you calling from, Catherine?
Toronto, Canada.
Toronto. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get you on my radar. And how I do that is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit. And I watch a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama, which is in the southern part of the U.S. And it's going to come up and hook into you up in Toronto. And then I have a hologram of you in my mind's eye. Do I hear a baby in the background?
My son's just in the other room, yeah.
How old is he?
He's 10, and
10. Okay.
It's taken a toll on him too. Like this is kind of
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. So I've got you. I'm shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. So I've got the depression looks like kind of a gray fog that's over your whole body. In some people, it's just over their head. It's over your whole body. So I'm removing that right now, trying to get that removed so that you'll feel better. Couple of things. There's a woman named Kelly Brogan, Brogan, MD, Dr. Kelly Brogan. You want to go to her website, which is kellybrogan.com, and you want to read her stuff. I think she can help you with some of this. The other one that I want you to go to is Amen, AMEN clinics.com. And a lot of depression and anxiety is caused by gut biome imbalances, and there are also nutrient imbalances that can help with that. So go on Amen Clinics. Pardon me?
I was just wondering if you get, like when you said nutrition or something like that, do you get anything specifically causing the anxiety for me?
Yeah, your gut biome's out of whack. And that's where our immune system is, and that's where our brain chemicals are manufactured, is in our gut. So if you email me, Catherine Julie at askjulieryan.com, and anybody listening, feel free to email me, Julie at askjulieryan.com. I'm going to send you a link to get a gut biome test done. And it's going to tell you what the status of your immune system is, but more importantly, in the short run, it's going to say, here are your superfoods to eat in order to get a healthy gut biome. Here are the foods for you to avoid. All right? And here's why. And so it's very affordable. The link I'm going to send you is for a discount. And I would get that done. I would go on Kelly Brogan MD's website and look around there and read what she says, and I would go on amenclinics.com and look for depression stuff and look around there as well. And I think you'll pick up some nuggets.
Anxiety that's feeding the depression.
Yeah, but a lot of the time it's a gut biome thing where it's originating.
Okay.
And did you get my blog last night, Catherine, by any chance? That went out?
No.
The one that I just read to the other Catherine, Catherine number 1, you're Catherine number 2. In that blog, if you go on my website, askjulieryan.com, and you read it, and you click on the link that says Dr. Orion Truss, you will be taken to a paper by this doctor that wrote it up, and they even have related anxiety, depression, and schizophrenia to an overgrowth of candida in clinical research. But most doctors aren't schooled on how to clear up candida overgrowth. So again, that's a gut biome issue. So I'm getting that this all has to do with your gut. So check out those different sites, and hopefully you'll be able to find some information to help you.
Okay. So maybe like a natural doctor or something can help more.
Well, I would go to one of those links that are on that blog, down at the bottom, what I was just telling the other Catherine. The Functional Medicine, the Institute for Functional Medicine, and the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, all those doctors that you'll access on that web, put your address in there. I wouldn't do the American one, do the Institute for Functional Medicine one, the first one, and you put your postal code in there and doctors that are in your area. Certainly there will be many in Toronto that you'll be able to look at. So I hope that helps.
Thank you.
You bet. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, let's go to Jenny next. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, hi, Julie. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome. How are you?
Good. I'm up here in Wisconsin, central Wisconsin. Kind of overcast and dreary, but all's well otherwise.
Yeah, that Rust Belt gray, right? All those Rust Belt states, they have this gray stuff that kind of sets in sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling. Do you have a question for me?
I do. I had a few questions actually, but I know you can only do one at a time here, so I'll start out with, I feel like I'm stuck in a rut as far as my job. I used to be a vet tech years and years ago, and I was a vet tech down in the Florida Keys, and I had some deaths in the family that brought me back home, and I just have not found a fit for me as far as what has been able to make me happy. And I was wondering if my spirit guide or a guardian angel had any insight onto, or if you have any insight onto what would be the perfect fit for me, and if that's here in Wisconsin or if it's somewhere else.
Okay, so let's ask it this way, Miss Jenny. If money wasn't an issue, let's say you're a trust fund baby and you got more money than you could spend in your lifetime, where would be the place that you would want to live? If money wasn't an issue, you could live anywhere. Florida. Where in Florida?
Anywhere by the ocean, working with sea, rescuing sea life and rehab, anything like that.
Okay, well, there's your answer right there. You've already got it. We've always got the answers inside of us. We just have to ask. And so how you go about making that happen is you take one step at a time. You think, okay, well, I'd like to live in Florida and I'd like to be involved in rescuing sea animals. And then you maybe get online and you look around and see what's available. And you're going to be led step by step to take the next step, right? When we think too far... Go ahead.
I'm sorry. The only thing that's holding me back as far as relocating is my daughter's father will not let her leave the state. So I would have to be here in Wisconsin for another 7 years until she's old enough to be able to move wherever she wants and graduates. So in the meantime, do you see a field or see what would be a good fit for me to do in the meantime?
Well, let's still go back to what your dream is. There's no reason why you can't do it. I mean, let's be open-minded about this. Wisconsin has a lot of big schools. The University of Wisconsin comes to mind, Madison. Check and see if they've got a department there that does, sea stuff. Do they have a vet school there? Where's the vet school in the state? Okay.
Yep, right in Madison.
So start exploring that. Start exploring what's available in the state. My God, you back up to one of the Great Lakes. There's water animals there. That may be a place for you to start. So I think when we think, oh, I can't do this because I have to live in Florida to do it, expand your horizons. I mean, there's stuff there in Wisconsin you can do, even if it doesn't mean you're out on a boat every day rescuing wildlife. Sure. Maybe you're working in a lab at the university with somebody who does, and maybe you can go on a research project with them for a week or two at a time. And maybe that's going to give you the experience that you need so that when you can move back to Florida, you're going to be a shoo-in for another job down there that's going to give you experience. So, folks, I think it's always best, Jenny, when we focus on what it is that excites us, that interests us. And then you take one step at a time, and you're going to be led to the next step. When we think too far in advance, we freeze because there's no way we can anticipate and or know all the steps that are going to take. But trust that the people you need to know and the information you're going to need to get are going to show up at the exact perfect time. And you've got time to look at it. The University of Wisconsin came in really fast for me. There's something there for you to explore. Maybe working as a tech in a department like a veterinary school department, or check and see if they have a wildlife. I'll bet they've got one that deals with the Great Lakes. If not, I mean, they may have something that they're studying the coral reef in Turks and Caicos in the British Virgin Islands. You just don't know, but it's worth investigating. Yeah.
True.
And you're right there.
True.
So, yeah. So give that a whirl.
Thank you.
And then call back in and let us know what you come up with. Let us know what happened.
Will do. And if you do have time to come back around, I'll ask another question.
Okay, terrific. Thanks, Miss Jenny.
Thank you, Julie.
You bet. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, let's see who's next. I believe it's Natalie. Natalie, let me find you here. Natalie, there you are. Okay, hi, Natalie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, said like a Southern belle. Terrific. Well, good. Thanks for calling in. You got a question for me?
Well, yes. We're in this quarantine, and I'm having a severe toothache.
No.
And I was wondering if you could scan or maybe help me with that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm connected to you. The energy went to the left side of your mouth, upper palate. Is that where your toothache is? That's where I'm seeing inflammation.
Well, actually, the tooth that's hurting is my lower front tooth.
Okay,
it's in the middle.
Okay, all right.
Middle
energy.
front?
Yeah, I'm going to check that, but I'm going to work on this molar first in the back because it's inflamed. May not be hurting yet, but things always show up in order of importance, Natalie, when I get somebody on my radar. And so let me see what's going on with that one. It's the last molar in the back on the left side, upper molar. So I'm going in there. It's looking like there's a little bit of an infection brewing there right on the gum line. Right where the tooth meets the gum line. I'm touching my own tooth like you can see me, duh. But right there, so I've applied, sometimes I crack myself up with this, I've applied anti-inflammatory energy, which is kind of a hot pink color, more pink than fuchsia, like a fuchsia color, more pink than purple, I should say. And so I'm doing that, and it's like if I had an antibiotic gel, I'm watching it get squirted all the way around where that tooth hits the gum line, especially on the outside gum. So be really careful with that tooth. Be sure that you floss really well on that tooth, and be sure that you brush it gently. But I would be cognizant of that tooth because you've got something brewing in that tooth. Okay, lower front is where it's hurting. That tooth looks like it's dying.
Well, it feels like it's got a nerve exposed or something.
Yeah.
It's just really, really painful.
I'm sorry. And your dentist isn't open?
No, they're not allowed to do any kind of procedures or anything, and they won't be for a few months.
Well, then if it gets too crazy, go to a walk-in clinic and let them prescribe something for you for the infection. This looks like this tooth is dying.
My family doctor put me on antibiotic, but it doesn't seem to be helping.
And did you call them back?
Like anesthetic. Like Oragel.
I would call them back and tell them it's not working, and then see if they can give you something else. So I've got antibiotic energy on that too. That one is. It just looks like I agree. Looks like the nerve is dying in that. So I'm just going to do an energetic root canal on that one real fast. So I'm getting the nerve out, and I've put stem cell energy in that hole where the root goes, and there's a vortex that's spinning on top of it, and that'll generate a new root to that tooth, and hopefully that will help it feel better.
Thank you.
With that.
So very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I would. Have you called your dentist's office and at least left a message and asked them what they would recommend?
Actually, no, because my family doctor told me that none of the dental offices were quarantined, and that is not, they're just not using the offices to do procedures right now because of such need for the mask and all that stuff. So all the procedures right now in North Carolina is kind of on hold.
But I would still call and leave a message on their phone line because I bet they're picking up their phone calls and their office staff is probably working remotely from their homes. Somebody will get your call and just say, hey, can I have Dr. whoever call me just to have, see what he can do to help me. I would still reach out to them and leave a voicemail at their office and see if you can get somebody to return your call. I bet you get a return call.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you bet. Thanks for calling. Take care.
You have a good night.
You
Thank
too.
You.
Bye-bye. Okay, let's see who's next. I believe it's Lisa. Let's go to Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
In Washington, which is on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State.
Okay, terrific. Well, good. You got a question for me?
I guess my question would be, we have an appointment on May 4th, and just if there's anything else that I should do in the meanwhile.
Before our appointment? No, you mean to prepare for it?
No, I mean just to stay healthy during everything that's going on.
Oh, yeah. Just follow what the guidelines are. Eat healthy and wash your hands and do the social distancing stuff. And, take your vitamin C and zinc, get some sunshine, get some vitamin D out in the sun, and you're good. Yeah, you're golden.
Okay. I'm doing all that.
Perfect. Well, you're golden then. Okay. Well, thanks for calling. I look forward to talking to you on the 4th. I'll get you for a whole hour and we'll have a ball.
It'll be good. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Lisa. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, here, let's go to another Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. 763 area code, Lisa. Can you hear me?
Whoops, can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Sorry,
Hi.
I had the phone muted. I wasn't expecting to get through. I'm sorry. I am calling from Minneapolis.
Hello.
Thank you for taking my call.
You bet.
I am calling. You have worked on my daughter's knee before, and I was just wondering, my daughter Laura, I was just wondering if you could just check, well, with her permission, if you could take another look and just see how she's doing and see if you can send her some more stem cell energy if that's appropriate or whatever you find.
Sure. And this is Lisa, everybody, who's in my class right now. We started our new angelic attendance group on last Saturday. So she's one of the students going through this round. This is the 6th one that I've done since February of 2019. And we had a ball last Saturday, didn't we?
Yes, I love the class and really looking forward to Saturday. And I'm actually practicing with a couple of other people in the class of some of the exercises that you taught us. So have had some really cool experiences already this week with just after one session of the angelic attendant class. So highly recommend this class, definitely. So,
what a nice surprise that you called in. We didn't set this up or anything, did we?
I called in halfway through the show, and I'm like, whoops.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and Laura, Lisa's daughter, everybody, is an athlete, and she's looking at surgery on her knee. How is she feeling?
She's feeling well. She's a college volleyball athlete, and she some hard cartilage had, as you know, chipped off her femur, and the bone area. Anyways, she was supposed to have surgery, and then it was supposed to be the week that everything got shut down. So, so we're waiting to have the surgery, and she's fine. She's doing what her doctor's telling her to do, and yeah.
Right. Okay. So I've already got her on my radar. I did a private whole hour session with her. She's just darling. And so I'm in there. It's healing. I've got more stem cell energy. There's a little bit more stem cell energy now, but she looks good. I think she looks good. I think this surgery is going to be a breeze for her.
Oh, good.
I really do. I think it's going to be good. So tell her to keep up the good work. She's doing great. I mean, I'm not really even seeing inflammation.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
awesome.
And it's probably because she's home and she's not walking all over campus.
That's probably true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. Well, I look forward to class, and I look forward to talking with you on my 1-hour appointment tomorrow. So thanks again, Julie.
Yes, you bet. I'm gonna get all this Lisa love here. I'll be able to put all this Lisa love and put love on you too. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Julie. Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, we do this show, everybody, every Thursday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-770-4160, and the access code is 533677#. You can find this information a whole bunch of different places, anywhere you download podcasts. We're also on Alexa and YouTube, and you can find it in the show notes. When I send out my blog every Wednesday night, it's a question somebody has submitted online, and I answer it. And in the body of the email, it has all this information. Hey, remember, call in tomorrow night with your questions. So the information's there. I also post it on social media every Thursday morning, just as a reminder. I'm at Ask Julie Ryan on Instagram, and I'm at Ask Julie Ryan on Facebook. So when you're on my website, sign up for my blog if you haven't already, and schedule an appointment, and then I'll get you for a whole hour, and I'll be able to love on you for a whole hour, and we'll get whatever you want to talk about. We can do as much as we can cover in an hour. If you want to do a medical thing and talk to a deceased loved one and scan your animal and do a past life thing, I mean, we can do any and all that we can fit in an hour, and we always just have such a blast. It's really a lot of fun. So I highly recommend that that you consider doing that too. Okay, let's go back to the phones, and I believe our next caller is Lauren. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Julie. I did not expect to get through either.
Here you are. Surprise, surprise. Where are you calling from?
How are you doing?
I'm great.
I am from San Antonio. Oh, sorry, we're talking over each other.
Yeah, San Antonio. How are things down there?
You know, the weather is interesting. One day it's really sunny, one day it's really cloudy and rainy, so I guess we just kind of get what we get.
Yeah, it's always that way, isn't it?
Yes, right? It is, especially down here.
Well, do you have a question? You got a question for me?
I'm going to be honest with you. I just kind of wanted to tune in and check out your show and kind of meet you a little bit. I am interested in actually scheduling something with you now that I've kind of got a feel for how you read people.
Well, wonderful. Well, we're delighted to have you join us, and thanks for saying hi. And just AskJulieRyan.com. Pick a date and a time. I'll look forward to having you for a whole hour.
Sounds great, Julie. Well, thank you for having us too.
Thanks, Lauren. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Okay, let's go to, I think it's Rod from 903 area code. Rod?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, great. 2 Texas people in a row. How about that?
That's right.
Terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. My mom, for a long time, has suffered from severe neck pain, so much that she's had to take very serious medications for it to help dull the pain. And I know you won't scan her unless she'll let you, and she may or may not. So I was going to see if maybe you'd scan her and see if you could just see if there's something we can do for her. Or...
Sure. What's her name, Rod?
Stacy.
Stacy. Okay, I'm going to connect to you, and from you, I'm going to connect to your mom. And I've got you on my radar. Okay, I've got your mom. So, Stacy, I'm talking to Rod. He wants me to scan you energetically. Would that be okay? She's saying, I don't know what that means. I'll tell you what.
She would say that.
Yeah. Why don't you talk to her about it and let her listen to one of my shows? And then call back next week, and I'll get you on, and we'll scan her then if she says yes. Okay?
Sounds good.
I can scan her, Rod. I just won't from an ethical standpoint. I just think it's wrong to scan somebody. I think it's an invasion of their privacy. So, sure. Talk to her and see if she'll listen to one of my shows, and then call back in, and let's see if we can figure out what's going on with her.
Perfect.
Okay? All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see who's next. Let's see. I think it's Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can.
I'm good. I've never done this before, so I just want to make sure I'm doing it right.
You're perfect. Perfect.
Okay, great.
Where are you calling us from?
Oh, from Bluemont, Virginia.
Okay, terrific. You got a question for me?
I do. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis about 2 decades ago, and it disappeared. And I want to say that it was because I worked on it through principles of A Course in Miracles and biblical principles, healing first with the mind, and then the body would follow. And that was about 4 years ago. And I didn't have any symptoms whatsoever in those 4 years, but just in the last couple of days, they've begun to reoccur again. And I'm just nothing other than some stress-related things that have happened over the last several months. I've lost 3 very important people in my life.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I don't know if that's what has triggered it. I'm also a single mom of a young adult son with autism who I'm in complete, I'm his complete caregiver. He's not independent. And it's just weird because he has started to not sleep at night and making very strange noises, and it's like the symptoms of the ulcerative colitis and him not sleeping seem to have started at around the same time. And I don't know if there's a connection with that or not. It's very disheartening for me to have gone 4 years thinking that I had forgiven everything that had happened in my life as far as trauma, and had healed, thought I had healed my body through my mind, and then to have it reappear like this. And so that's why I was calling to see if you could offer some help with that.
Sure, and I've gone ahead and gotten you on my radar just to save time while you were talking, and your whole GI tract from your stomach down looks very inflamed. So I've gotten that calmed down. Did you get a chance? Do you get my blog, Tracy? I know I sound like a broken record on the blog this week, but it pertains to you too. I think it makes sense. Go to AskJulieRyan.com under blog and read the one that says Headache Mystery, and look at the Candida yeast overgrowth portion. And I believe that pertains to you. That's what I'm doing is I've cleared. You've got yeast in your system. You've got an overgrowth. This is like a yeast show this week, and I've gotten that cleaned out. And I believe it would make sense for you to do the gut biome test that I was talking about earlier. If you send me an email, julie@askjulieryan.com, I'll send you the link for the discount on that. You can do it at home. You don't need a doctor's orders to do it. And it will give you what your superfoods are. Food is the best medicine. So it will say, okay, these are the best things for you to eat. These are the things for you to avoid. And instead of doing the keto diet or the ulcerative colitis diet, let's do the Tracy diet. Let's see exactly what's going to be best for you to get your immune system back in shape. So I would do that. And have you read my book, Angelic Attendance, yet?
I actually listened to the audio link.
Okay. Good.
That was wonderful. Yeah.
Good. Hopefully that gave you some comfort, hopefully.
Oh, it did.
Good. With losing 3 people in a short period of time, my goodness. It's hard to lose 1, let alone 3.
It really did give me a lot of comfort. I still have questions and I still have grief, but it really did help me. So I thank you for that.
Right, you bet. I would love it if you'd leave me an Amazon review on that. That really helps other people find the information. Anybody that's read the book that hasn't had a chance to leave an Amazon review yet, if you would do that, I would so appreciate it, because
I would love to do that. Sure.
When people are looking for this information, they either have just lost a loved one or they've got somebody who's dying. And, that's the best way for them to find the information. So that's how Amazon makes things pop up. In the meantime, go read my blog. Send me an email. I'll send you the link for the gut biome test. I think that's a place to start. Stay low on the food chain. If God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, do your best to avoid it. I think that's going to help with the inflammation, and we'll see what we can do. In the meantime, I've put anti-inflammatory energy and cleared out the yeast in your system.
Okay, great.
So hopefully that'll help you feel better.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Okay, thanks for calling. Take care. Bye, Tracy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, that's it for this week. We are at our time, and what a treat to be with all of you. Please remember, sign up for the free drawing for our free session. Follow me on Instagram at AskJulieRyan. Put a review on iTunes about the show, and also sign up for my blog at AskJulieRyan.com. And with that, stay safe, stay well, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye now.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Twitter at AskJulieRyan and like her on Facebook at AskJulieRyan. For information on how you can ask Julie your question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.